Hi everyone, welcome to our exclusive doTERRA plant protein pre-launch webinar. I'm Ludo, the Product Education Manager for Europe, and I can't wait to guide you through the behind the scenes and product information of our upcoming plant protein. But before I do, introduce yourself in the chat and let us know where you're watching from. All of today's content is available with translated subtitles. To enable translated subtitles, click on the setting cog at the bottom of this video, select Subtitles CC and choose your language. Okay, are you ready? Join me and my colleague Olga Mazur and let's learn more about protein. Olga, welcome and thank you for being here with us today.
Hello, Ludo. Thank you so much for having me today because I'm so excited to be here with you today and share some great news about the upcoming product launch. I just want to take a quick minute just to quickly introduce myself. My name is Olga, and I'm a Senior Product Manager for doTERRA Europe. I've been with the company for 6 years now, and what an incredible journey it's been. Here, my main responsibility is I oversee the product roadmap and new product development process for European markets.
Amazing, thank you. And guys, I hope you will love this product that we're about to talk about as much as we do. So just to give you a little bit of the background knowledge, Olga approached me, I think 2 years ago when I was still a market development manager for the Adriatic region. And obviously she knew I was, and I still am, obsessed about our product. So we started to work on this protein project. We knew we wanted to bring protein to Europe. And she came to me, so we started working really together 2 years ago. And this project feels like our baby. So if you feel the excitement, I hope you feel the excitement because we are thrilled to finally launch this product in Europe. Today, we are here to tell you everything you need to know about protein, the behind the scenes, the insight on the product, and maybe some extra nutritional facts and info that will be useful for you to understand better our product and then to educate your team, your family, your friends, and your loved ones. So let's just dive straight in. And let's start from the beginning, okay? So what is protein and why do we need it in our diet? So protein is one of the macronutrients that we have in our diet, together with carbohydrates and fats. And basically, a protein is a very complex molecule composed of a long chain of 20 different amino acids. You can think about amino acids as building blocks or Lego blocks, if you like, for our protein. You can find protein in both animal sources and plant sources. And protein is absolutely crucial for many bodily function, and such as repairing muscles and bones and just regenerating tissues in general. So now let's move into why we need protein. As you can imagine, protein is a fundamental part of our nutrition and of a good diet. And we need it so much, and increasingly so when we age, because our body is constantly breaking down old cells and developing and maturing new cells. This is how our body functions, okay? Our body needs those amino acids, those building blocks, to taken from protein to build and repair muscle, but actually for so many more things. Right? We need protein because they enable our body to build tissues, repair muscle, and also prevent bone damage and bone loss when we age. So now moving on to, again, a little bit of behind the scenes, why we chose to produce a plant protein and not a whey protein product. And Olga will tell you more about this in a moment. But one of the reasons was that plant protein, we found it's considered to be better for our health. It contains little saturated fat, almost no sodium, and very little cholesterol, which is absolutely beneficial to our health. Unlike whey protein and whey supplements in general, it will not contain any allergens. So that's another great point. It's very nutrient dense and it has a really high fiber content. And again, fiber is essential to our diet, and we need fiber. We source fiber from plants and vegetables and fruits. So plant protein is naturally high in fiber, and it has also a high nutrient density, which means it will keep you fuller for longer. Another reason is that plant protein is easier to digest and a bit easier in general for our system to manage. So it will not create a super heavy load on our gut when the body is trying to digest this protein. And lastly, but not less important, we chose plant protein over whey because it requires less water, land, and energy compared to whey when we're talking about production. So it's a more sustainable option even for our environment. And we at doTERRA, we care a lot about the environment, and we felt this was more aligned with our goal, our vision, and our mission. Okay, I think I can now turn it to you, Olga, to give us a few insights on our product, like specifically, and you can go wild with this.
Thank you so much, Ludo. And before we go wild and dive into the actual formulation that we actually end up creating for doTERRA European markets, I want to give a little bit more background story so you guys also better understand what inspired our product and why it took longer for us to actually come up with a product. So doTERRA US launched protein powders around 4 years ago. Unfortunately, due to European regulations, we were not able to offer the global formula in the European markets. That's why we immediately initiated EU-specific reformulation. Some of you may remember, but 2 years ago, we conducted a big survey with our silver leaders and above. And I would say about 400 people participated. I also had a few one-on-one meetings with some of you to help me better understand what ingredients and benefits you're looking for when choosing the protein supplement for your families and for yourself and your families. So we took that feedback very seriously, and we used it to determine the product requirements for the final product Ludo and I are presenting to you today. So hopefully some additional details will be helpful for you to understand some background. And now I would say let's just dive right into the formulation itself. So doTERRA plant protein comes in 2 staple flavors. It's vanilla and chocolate. Both of them will be available for permanent sales in Europe early next year. We also currently researching some potential seasonal or LTO flavors. So if you have any recommendations or suggestions, please work with your MDMs and let me know. So back to the protein. So the protein, each product contains 16 servings, which is 512 grams per unit. The serving size of 32 grams provides 22 or 24 grams of high-quality protein. You'll notice that the amount of protein differs a little bit per flavor. Vanilla provides 24 grams of high-quality protein. The chocolate one provides 22 grams of protein per serving. doTERRA plant protein contains 4 premium plant-based protein sources. It's pea protein isolate, chickpea protein concentrate, potato protein isolate, and brown rice protein concentrate. This combination of 4 plant-based protein sources provide all the essential amino acids our body needs. I'm also happy to inform that doTERRA product is sugar-free. It does not contain sugar, and it does not contain any artificial sweeteners. doTERRA product is free from GMO, and as Ludo has already mentioned, it's free from allergens. doTERRA product does not contain any inflammatory oils, any unnecessary fillers, or the gums. A good thing that protein is a very well-studied ingredient. That's why we're specifically excited to be able to add some approved health claims to our marketing materials. So you'll see claims like protein contributes to maintenance and growth of muscle mass and maintenance of normal bones. I would say just stay with us a little bit longer because Ludo will share some additional insight on this specific claim, and we are very excited about it. I also know some of you asked us before why we decided to formulate and produce the product in Europe. So yeah, I'm happy to inform that doTERRA plant-based protein is developed and formulated in Europe. For this specific project, we partnered with a reputable supplier from Europe who pays the greatest attention to quality, safety, health during the whole product development and production process. Also, choosing a local supplier give us an opportunity to support local European businesses, as well as reduce our carbon footprint. The plant-based protein is naturally more coarse, and the particle size are usually larger than the animal-based ones. So this characteristic can usually lead to chalky and gritty aftertaste. So with doTERRA plant-based protein, we decided to improve it. So to provide supreme mixability and great mouthfeel, we formulated the product with MCT oil, palm-free MCT oil, and acacia fiber. The addition of MCT oils makes the product more ketogenic, satisfying, and just overall better tasting. Vanilla product contains 2.8 grams of healthy fat per serving, and the chocolate one contains 3.6 grams of healthy fat per serving. And also, I want to talk a little bit about the actual packaging. For this specific project, we end up choosing flexible multi-layer pouch. It provides the great protection from moisture and oxidation, which is very important. And it also allows us to claim and maintain 2 years of shelf life for our product. Flexible packaging can be a really good sustainable option for those who want to reduce the amount of plastic, because the pouch takes 60% less resin than a standard hard shell tub. So now I want to give back to Ludo for some additional insights about the protein and why it's so important for our health.
Thank you, Olga. I loved your explanation. Even if we talked so many times about this, it's still kind of a wow moment for me to hear it and let this information sink in. I still cannot believe that we've achieved what we achieved, and I'm really thrilled. And while you were speaking about packaging, I can see in your background that you have our beautiful packaging. So I couldn't have it in my background, but actually I have it right here with me. And I just wanted to show you. This is our baby. This is our beautiful soft pouch, as Olga was saying. I've actually have to confess, I opened mine already. So yeah, I've opened mine because sometimes I come in the office and I just like to have a breakfast on the go. I might mix my product with water, have a smoothie, but we're talking about that later. I just wanted to show you the packaging because I think it's really good. And it's always, it's also convenient for you if you're on the go. You know, you can squeeze it in your luggage, and if you're somebody like me, person who travels a lot, that is really, really convenient. So I just wanted to show the real product. Okay, now let me go back to a bit of sciencey facts. And let's talk about the protein needs and who needs protein, right? Well, you can rest assured that everyone with the body needs protein. And the European Food Safety Authority recommends that adults should consume 0.83 grams per kilo of body weight in protein to avoid a nitrogen imbalance. What that means is nitrogen balance is commonly known and referred to as the net difference between the intake or the absorption of nitrogen contained in the diet and the excretion of nitrogen. Since nitrogen, which is a chemical compound, is contained mainly in proteins, this term pertains mainly to the balance of proteins and amino acids in the body. So you can see how nitrogen is almost used as a currency in our body when we need protein, and we want to maintain a nitrogen balance pretty much throughout our life. Now, what I find really exciting and interesting is that research is starting to show that having an adequate protein intake and also the sources of protein that you're selecting could play a crucial role in the maintenance of a good cognition while we age. So this is really, really interesting because it means that we can, take better care of our brain and our nervous system as we age. Obviously, we recognize and we know that protein intakes depends on us as individuals. So the exact amount you need will, to thrive will be different according to your weight, your gender, your activity level, and your own genetics. So, for example, the amount of protein that I need might be completely different to Olga's or any of you guys listening to this call right now. But moving on to another subject that I'm really passionate about, women and why we need probably a bit more protein than we could imagine. So for optimal health, it's actually recognized that most women should consume 1.2 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. It's almost twice or even 3 times the normal amount that the EFSA recommended. And this is because protein plays such a crucial role in so many bodily functions that we really need it to thrive as women. Research is starting to show how an adequate level of protein will also support us while we age. And this is particularly or even more true for us women because we have a different protein need throughout our menstrual cycle. So the more in tune we are with our menstrual cycles and what we need during the various phases, I think is the better. So research is starting to show that during the last phase of our cycle, called the luteal phase, we might need a greater intake of protein versus other phases of our cycles. I think knowing this as women is really empowering because we can make better choices for our diet and we can understand better how our body works. If you guys are interested, I'm really happy to share with you some of the articles that I was reading when Olga and I were studying the product, so I can absolutely share them with you in the chat. Another important point that I want to highlight is that we have some really good evidence and research showing that protein is also crucial for women approaching the perimenopause and menopause phase of their life. So again, why is that? It's because while we age, bone density will naturally increase. This is true for everyone. And having an adequate intake of protein, whatever source we might decide, it could be plant protein, animal protein, according to your diet, but research is starting to show that upping our protein intake while we age will be really beneficial to prevent bone loss and to slow down the process of osteoporosis, which is prevalent in women. So I think, again, knowing that in the back of your mind could really help making better choices. I think at this point, I should pass it back to you, Olga, to again analyze a little bit our formula specifically.
Thank you so much, Ludo. Most of you know that there are 20 amino acids that our body needs, and all of them, they perform their own functions. 11 of those 20 amino acids, our body produces all by itself, right? So we don't have to worry about getting them from our diet. The other 9, the so-called essential amino acids, we do get from food. So these, the 3 of these essential amino acids have a unique chemical structure with branching, and they're also known as branch chain amino acids. Those who go to the gym probably familiar with this term just because with this term BCAA. So BCAA it's a great way to support overall health, recovery, as well as repairing your muscles. So I'm happy to inform that doTERRA plant protein, just 1 serving of doTERRA plant protein provide all 9 essential amino acids as well as 3 branch chain amino acids. We're super excited. So the plant protein sources that we chose for our formula, and I'll mention it again, it's pea, potato, chickpea, and rice. They're of highest quality and purity, and they're highly bioavailable. So now I want to say that after 2 years of product development, I'm very excited to be able to finally offer this product in our European markets. And now, just to wrap it up, I want to give it back to Ludo for some exciting recipe ideas as well as some upcoming education materials.
Thank you so much, Olga. Yeah, I'm really excited to share with you just a snippet of a smoothie recipe. But before I do that, just wanted to say in general how to use this product. It's really, really easy. You could simply blend or mix one serving, as Olga said, 32 grams of our doTERRA plant protein with your choice of water, plant-based milk, normal milk, any liquid that you would like. And if you're on the go, if you're always running around, you can simply shake it in a bottle and drink. If you feel more adventurous, you could try to mix it maybe in a yogurt to create like delicious morning breakfast bowls with maybe granola on top, some fruit. You can really go crazy. And I would actually encourage you to experiment because this is beautiful and just give space to your creativity. But right here on this slide that you're seeing, I wanted to share my super berry smoothie recipes. Those of you who were in Berlin at Leadership Retreat will remember, hopefully, how delicious this smoothie is. I was in the kitchen blending it for all of you, so I really do hope that you managed to try it. Again, let's just go through the ingredients together. It's really simple. So to create this smoothie, you'll need 1 serving of the doTERRA vanilla plant protein, 150 grams of frozen berries, 1 frozen banana, you can use it half if you want it less sweet, then 250 ml of almond milk or any other milk alternatives that you might want, and maybe some ice cubes if you really want your smoothie to be nice and frozen. You just need to put everything in a blender, and the result is this delicious, satisfying and filling smoothie that is perfect for you. I tend to consume this after working out. I'd like to work out on an empty stomach. This is just personal preference. And then I enjoy this breakfast. I am pleased to say that you will have access to this webinar recording in just a few days. And from January, you will be able to access a whole other world of education and product information. So I'm talking about this PowerPoint that we've just seen together, we'll be sharing with you, a dedicated FAQ on protein, and this will be available in all languages, an exclusive scientific article written by our dear Dr. Alexandra Nietzsche, a recipe book, how not to mention the recipe book, and this I hope you'll really enjoy because we took our time to research ingredients and get creative. Me and my colleagues here in the UK office tried a lot of recipes, and yeah, my colleagues had to put up with me just delivering smoothies, delivering random breakfast bowls to everyone, and they had to say that they loved it. But in fairness, it was delicious. All of that will be yours and available from January, together with the product information pages, as always. This is something staple that we do for our product. Now, before saying goodbye, Olga and I would like to address a few questions that we received, and actually would like to take this opportunity to say thank you for submitting your questions. I know we asked you something a bit weird because we haven't officially presented the protein, and we asked you what questions do you have, and that was a bit of a challenge. I recognize that, but I believe we covered a lot of your questions during this webinar. If you have any other question, feel free to pop it in the chat. But Olga, how do you feel about answering maybe 3 or 4 questions that came up recently in the survey?
I would say let's just go ahead with that. Yes, we got quite a few very interesting ones, so I am excited.
Perfect, thank you. The first one that I would like to address is something that when I was reading it, I said, yes, this one it's interesting and I really want to answer that one. So one of you asked us, is it possible to take the doTERRA plant protein with MetaPower Advantage together? Olga, what do you think about that?
So I would say that yes, that's not a problem. The protein can be taken together with Advantage supplement because the collagen is a protein. So I do not see any concerns why we shouldn't. I would say the best time, I do kind of have probably a preference, is just because advantage, it does have vitamin C in it, so you probably don't want to take it, before going to bed. I also know, like, a lot of people, they take protein and collagen at the same time as a meal. And also, if you love the gym, I would say the best time to take collagen and protein will be right after the workout.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, and thank you for your answer. I personally am right there with you. I prefer to take both my protein and MetaPower Advantage in the morning. So I'm really happy to hear about the fact that we can mix these two together. Another question that you guys asked a lot, and for good reason, we understand, is can pregnant or breastfeeding women use protein? Now, I'm happy to say that this product is absolutely safe, but we always, always, always suggest that you should consult your doctor, physicians before consuming any product. So you can make your own decision on that one. And the last one that came up quite a bit is, can my kids take the protein? And again, the answer to this is kids' diet is very different to adults' nutrition and diet. So what we wanted to do with this webinar and with all the materials that is coming is empowering you as parents, as adults, to then make the best choices for your kids. What I think might be useful for maybe your teenagers when they will, go travel the world or go and live on their own, then yes, supplementing with protein might be a good addition. But again, this is something that you can discuss together as a family, and as parents, you will make the best decision for your kids. Olga, do you have anything else that you want to add?
No, I think we covered everything. I just can't wait, to finally get the product to you guys, to your hands. And I really want to hear more feedback from you, because as Ludo mentioned, you're going to get more educational materials. You'll see more FAQs, product information pages, our SMEC team, and some additional articles. So yeah, I'm just so excited and can't wait to hear what you think about this great product.
That's amazing. Thank you so much to all of you who have been here with us today. And the biggest thank you goes to you, Olga. It was really fun to work with you on this project. I hope that we can continue to collaborate on many, many other projects for the foreseeable future. And yes, it was amazing to be here with you guys today. Thank you for being with us. See you soon. Goodbye.